Kevin, how difficult is it to plan for a defense when the style in the Pac-12 is obviously so different than the style in the Big Ten?
Well, I talked about that earlier. Someone said you can some of their defensive stat numbers. I think those numbers can be skewed because of the style of the offense. West Coast, having coached in the the Big 12 a number of years, the offensive stats can be skewed because it's a little bit more wide open, and which causes a little bit more stress on the defense. It is, though, they have played a number of teams that are run-oriented, whether it be Stanford style of attack or Arizona style of attack or Notre Dame style of attack. They play teams that are very much pass-oriented, UCLA, Washington State, Cal. So you give a chance when you have 12 or 13, they're playing in a great conference. You have a chance to see them play great offenses every week, great skill players. You see them try to match up and attack, and you can see each week how their defenses try to evolve to go against great offenses, and they've done well. I mean, they're going to play great offense. They make plays, and they've gotten enough stops to be a champion team in a great league.
I know you guys don't care about writing stories for us, but I mean, JK's back in his home state. Is there any party that kind of wants to give him a big afternoon because he's back in Texas?
Not him, because every time you want to do, how about JT? He's from down here too. Yeah. And Demetrius Knox, our right guards from down here. We'll get Jeff Okudah and Baron Browning playing. I think all our Texas guys, our defensive back Kendall's playing. So it's Jake. Again, I don't know if you try to force anything. As always, most teams will try very hard to stop the run. We're kind of a run team to start with a lot, and I know they're going to do everything they can to make you one-dimensional. So to say you're going to force the tailback and run it, we got to get our run game going. But whether that means with JK or with Mike, with Tonio, or with our quarterbacks, we've got to find some running game. It's going to be a challenge because they're going to load the box and they're going to do their pressures to eliminate that run game.
You mentioned all the guys you have on this team from Texas. Do you see that as being as kind of a special thing for those guys, of being able to play down here and maybe play closer to their hometowns?
Yeah, I think we're playing at a football school in a football state, and we're playing another great program that's a part of a great football area in a football state. Now we're coming to a bowl game. There's an area that's known for football. A lot of great high school coaches. We have a number of those guys that have been at some of our practices, and we're recruiting guys in the future from this region. So in general, it's great to be in a nice football area. Having been in Oklahoma, I came down I-35 a few times and stayed in the hotels, and it just brings back some special memories. My first game in Oklahoma, I showed up and got hired about 9 days before we played Arkansas, and a 10 a.m. kickoff on January 1 back in 2002, I think it was the first day of the year. So it's great to be back. I don't think it's really a special thing for those kids. I think it's really good for our team. And those kids are nice to be back home. I know they'd love to be in the playoffs, but I think we're very, very excited to be at a great bowl, playing a great team. It's been a great week. It sets up to be a great matchup.
Coach, you mentioned Demetrius. He's a local kid.
Yes.
Would you call him a late bloomer? Or what?
Well, I wouldn't say late. No, he's played a little bit, and I think as a lineman sometimes it takes a couple years to get your strength level and stamina and your mindset where you can be a consistent practice player. Kind of tough enough to play, day after day. You're kind of grinding, getting pounded and chipped up and nicked up a little bit. And his ability he was in a very competitive spring and summer. He actually came up on the short end and didn't win the starting job. It was close. The other player we thought played a little bit better, a little more consistent. What was neat is that as he went through that, even though he wanted to get funky and down on himself, he had some teammates that got him through it. And with an injury, the door swung back open. He came out and played some tremendous. Everybody talks about the JT's play in the fourth quarter. There were several times that the strain of offensive linemen like Demetrius up front, holding up some of those pressures against Penn State, allowed JT to have the success he had. So very, very proud of the way Demetrius has came on. He's been a very pleasant story for this football team. Very proud of him. I know he's excited to be back down here in Fort Worth in his backyard.
Coach, you mentioned that this team wants to be in the playoffs. Obviously they did. But getting over that sort of hangover, a lot of that falls on the coaches. What do you do to make sure they're ready, that they're excited, that they're sharp?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, we had a couple setbacks as we went through the year. Didn't play our best or didn't go our way all the time. But immediately, as soon as that happened, starting with our players, Billy Price that you visited with, and some of our elite seniors talked about, like, hey, we're going to get back on track and be a championship team. Coach Meyer's been very dead on about getting your focus and getting laser lights on your target, what your objective, what your job is. He's been very direct with us as a staff. And I think we came out of the last game knowing we had a chance, but no guarantee we were going to be in the play. So I don't think anyone was devastated or disappointed. You had a shot, but you didn't have a guarantee. And when you don't win every game, you don't control your destiny. Those guys made their decisions, and I don't think anyone on our team said, okay, that's what they decided. What we had right away was a chance to play in a great venue, against a great opponent, and really a great group of seniors had one more month together and leave an impact on our program. We've had an awesome preparation. Our practices have been elite. We're going to have to play very, very well against Southern Cal, but it's been exciting to work with this team. And, no guarantees you get the layoffs, but the way our kids have practiced, I'm excited to see our guys come out and play. I think it's going to be a tremendous game, a lot of fun.
If you're not in the playoff, or as a coach, are you happy that your kids are getting prepared to play another huge, well-known, big-time football school?
Yeah, well,
does that help get them just jacked up?
Yeah, well, and again, when you come out of our conference as the champion, if that gets you in the Final Four, it does. If not, you're going to play in one of those other elite games against an elite team. And so you look at how we played down the stretch with the opponents we played in the Big Ten championship game. At Southern Cal, the same deal. You're playing your rival the last week. You're playing in a championship game. Now you're playing an elite bowl game. You're going to play an elite team. And so I think that comes with the territory. I think both programs are excited and honored to be where we're at. And like I say, it's going to be a tremendous battle comes Friday night.
What are the pros and cons of having this much time off? You play 12 in a row, bang, 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 and all of a sudden have a few weeks. I mean, things you like or don't like about that schedule?
Well, it is nice to get a little time to get some of the old guys back. It is nice to get some time to rep the young guys. I think Coach Meyer's done an awesome job of how to work our team and get those guys prepared to work hard, but also keeping them fresh and sharp. So we've had some subtle things we've done in our practice format to just like we talk about, when we get our team like locked in and their focus, and he's been using words like get your laser, like get really zoomed in on something. I think he's done a tremendous job, and our coaching staff of the way we prepared to just not practice. I was very pleased with the group. I had the tight end group earlier in the year. I kept saying, you guys aren't practicing, you're coming out working hard, you're having fun. Because you start practicing, it seems like work, and you start going through the motions. I think we've had bowl practices where we haven't practiced. The kids have come out and battled, had fun. We've worked hard. I think we've gotten better. I think that's a sign of a good program. And I can say it because I'm watching Marcus Ball do things in practice. I'm pointing out, look at the top end of this route. And he's not getting the ball, but how detailed and sharp this route is. This is a senior 5 years in. And everybody tells us like he's not in play like this, but no, this is a sharp, this is an elite route. And I'm proud of the way that guy's practicing. I mean, you got JT Barrett, Billy Price and JT might be the best practice players I've been around. Adrian Peterson was an elite practice player. Those guys, Billy Price is an elite practice player. And when you have guys practicing like that, it's awesome. And I think that's why as a coach you get energized every day and excited to go to work, because those guys love balling, they love preparing, they love practicing. It's been a lot of fun.
Coach, the state of Texas has been good to Ohio State in terms of recruiting. You guys, I don't know your schedule. Have you had a chance to do it? The first signing period's over. The next one's coming up. You have a chance to do any recruiting?
Yeah, it's kind of the dead time where they, we can only have them come to practice. Right. They've been open, but we, we're allowed to do the text messaging. So, and I kind of took over and getting there. I had some ties to from my 9 years at Oklahoma. So I'm the official DFW Metroplex guy. So I've had a chance to reach out and say hi to a few guys. One of our players on our team today, his high school coach was at practice today, and it was great to see him. So hopefully that will pay dividends in the years to come. Although we're going to recruit the best players in the country, and they're going to have great options, and there's many great options for the great players in the state of Texas. You know that.